knowing information that helps inform your decision making in real time. I was sitting in an executive appropriations committee meeting, which is comprised of all your majority and minority leadership making the decisions on sub-appropriation recommendations, all those things. This is where the rubber hits the road in building the state budget. And there was some testimony that was happening in that meeting where an entity, and I won't say what that entity was comparing their prospects of appropriations and saying that they were an outlier, that they were not being treated as similarly situated state entities were, and that this was unfair. And as they explained it, it did look, in fact, that they were not being appropriated funds or being treated the same. It's in that moment that a legislative auditor was able to communicate to me in real time that if you went back a number of years to where this appropriation had started, that the parameters of how the state would fund that request was made back then. And that what we were hearing now was maybe a rewrite of what those rules should be. And that they said, if you appropriate this amount now, we wouldn't ask for something later. And now, with a different group of leaders in the room, they were saying, why are we not receiving the funds like the others do? Yeah. I would not have known why that was the case if I didn't have the legislative auditors who were in the room and present and knew, letting me know that. That little bit of information informed our decisions going forward, and we kept things consistent. And that's it, the way it was agreed upon originally forward, and you didn't hear that same request made that way or framed that way after the legislators knew a little bit more information. So I love that. I love that.
Well, there are a couple of things I like about that story as well. First of all is we're a staff office of the legislature. When I look around at other legislative audit offices, some are organized differently, but some aren't organized in that kind of staff capacity. What that allows us to do is be your staff. Auditors need to be independent. We do our work independently.
Yes.
But we also want to be effective and help the legislature in their job of governing the state. And that's a great example of where we were able to do that.